up in the morning edition, the country's financial services said to be well regulated. Also, what's being done about the growing number of work permits and developing a safe community outlet. It's a Tuesday. Good morning, everyone. I'm LaDawn Davis, and this is the Morning Edition. Thank you so much for waking up with us. It's that time when your traffic commute could be getting hectic. Our Jimonita Swain is live on our streets. Good morning, Jimonita.
Good morning, LaDawn, and good morning, Bahamas. I'm coming to you live from downtown. It's a busy morning so far. As you can see, traffic is just flowing by, persons making their daily morning commute on the bus, driving to work. But one of the things that seems to be a vexing problem for traffic police is the fact that motorists don't often respect emergency vehicles on the road, whether it's ambulances or police cars. Well, joining me live to talk about that issue this morning is, of course, Sergeant Crestania Johnson of the Traffic Police Department. Now, good morning, Sergeant Johnson. No respect on the road for emergency vehicles. Tell us about the challenges with that particular issue.
Good morning to you and a pleasant good morning, Bahamas. Well, on a regular basis, we have emergencies. We need to respond to these emergencies as quickly as possible, because in many instances it may save a life. So therefore, we have the ambulances, the fire trucks, police vehicles, they are common vehicles that are used for emergency purposes. And these vehicles, they're responsible for getting to these incidents as quickly as possible. In that case, they have the sirens, and they have the lights. If a vehicle that has siren and lights is approaching your vehicle, we simply ask you to pull to the left side of the street. If you're in a double lane like here, we ask persons to pull to the nearest side of the street to allow these vehicles a clear path to get to their destination.
How challenging is that particular issue in terms of persons just not adhering? You are driving on the streets, you see persons, the emergency vehicle is behind you, and some persons don't move at all. What are some of the, fines, if it would be a fine? What would be that element that you could levy against those persons that are not respectful?
Right off the top, we have 3 fines. You can get fined with failing to pull to the side upon hearing the siren. That's one. That's $150. You can be fined with hindering the flow of traffic or obstructing the flow of traffic. All of these are $100 fines. We just ask persons just to simply work with us. We are trying to respond to the general public as a service. We have to respond to them as soon as possible. So we're just asking you to just simply pull your vehicle to the side and not to obstruct the pathway of these emergency vehicles.
And that would be beneficial to you, because sometimes it is the complaint that you call the police and they don't respond in a timely manner, but this is one of the things that can hinder the response time.
Yes, it is. Because, for example, if I'm in this area right now and there's a matter up the road, I'm going to have to navigate myself through this traffic to get to that incident. So in doing that, if the siren is on, persons usually have the windows up. You're faced with that difficulty. The windows are up and the music is loud. They cannot hear what's going on around them. So we're just asking persons again to just tone it down a bit, be aware of your surroundings, and allow the emergency vehicles to get to the destination they need to get to.
Well, thank you so much, Sergeant Johnson. I hope you're listening. Motorists, be aware of those emergency vehicles. You need to adhere to them. Pull on the side. Those persons are just trying to complete their job. Back to you in studio, LaDawn.
Thanks, Jimonita. Police continuing to express concern over the growing number of traffic fatalities and serious accidents across this country. This is in the wake of a double fatality on Sunday here in the capital and a second serious accident over in the nation's second city. Sunday's accident involving a 4-car collision in which a number of people were seriously injured. Assistant Commissioner of Police Clayton Fernandez says they will continue to crack down on motorists who wreak havoc on our streets.
We have to be out there aggressively and to go after those motorists who continue to break the law, as minor as they may seem, but we have to deal with those minor crimes and those traffic infractions. Because if we don't, we will continue to have these fatalities and people are losing their lives. And sometimes the driver has no respect and no regards for other road users as well. So that is a concern, and we're going to go on a serious campaign out there led by the traffic department to ensure awareness out there.
From the financial sector, the second day of that risk management, anti-money laundering and countering financing terrorism conference gets underway at the Bahama Resort this morning. Financial experts from across this country and around the world have assembled to engage in discussions on best practices and ways to strengthen the services they provide. This conference, hosted by the Central Bank of the Bahamas, is expected to come to an end sometime today. Minister of Finance and Deputy Prime Minister, the Honorable Peter Turnquest, told participants yesterday that the financial services sector has created employment, generated foreign exchange, and pumped some 50% of the GDP and has proven itself to be compliant and well regulated. Minister Turnquest also talked about the importance of enforcement.
In our most recent CFATF mutual evaluation reports from July of 2017, the Bahamas, along with a number of regional counterparts, were scrutinized heavily for our lack of AML-CFT-related convictions. Originally, the emphasis of FATF was the legal and regulatory framework. Did jurisdiction have the laws in place to effectively address AML and CFT risks? Based on the most recent assessments, the focus is now being placed on the effectiveness and the outcomes of the AML-CFT regime. The Bahamas was placed on an enhanced due diligence process, which included a period of observation. Our most recent reporting to CFATF shows strong progress in this area, of which we should all feel confident.
A campaign promise from the government will soon make its way to Parliament. The issue of term limits for the Prime Minister and members of Parliament to be debated pretty soon. The Prime Minister was asked about the issue on Monday and responded this way.
That we will bring in term limits and we will bring it in. We've also made a commitment that we will bring in fixed dates for election, and we will bring that forth also. But we will bring those bills not this week, Wednesday, probably in about 2 weeks, because next week I will be away at the UN in New York, and I definitely want to be present when those bills are tabled.
Meanwhile, there seems to be a growing concern over the large number of applications for work permits at the Department of Immigration. Currently, efforts are being made to ensure that Bahamians can fill some of the jobs occupied by foreigners. Prime Minister Dr. the Honorable Hubert Minnis also indicated that action will be taken against those individuals who continue to cover for persons without proper documentation.
But if you allow illegals to continue to be employed under the radar and establish an underground economy, then that has great effect on your society. And they would continue to come here once there are opportunities. And therefore, as matured citizens, we must respect the law and apply for them properly. You apply properly, there's a system, and they would be dealt with fairly. So all we're saying is we have a responsibility too. And if we break the law, we should not only inflict the law on the illegal immigrant, but we must also apply the law to those who are breaking it, Bahamians and others. And if you're here as our guest, as permanent resident, and you're breaking the law, then that should be revoked.
Also this morning, a suspect charged in the shooting death of a police officer spending his night at the Department of Corrections. 48-year-old Timothy Cole was arraigned yesterday for the murder and armed robbery of Inspector Carlos Blotch, killed on September 12. Now, following the arraignment, Cole alleged through his attorney that he was beaten by police while in custody. He also told the court he feared for his life while in prison and requested that he be placed in a cell by himself. The chief magistrate noted his concerns and referred the matter to the prison commissioner. Security officer Benjamin Ramming also arraigned in the South Street Magistrates Court on Monday for allegedly making threats against the police on social media. The post went viral after the defendant was seen allegedly threatening the police. That matter has been adjourned. Well, partly sunny weather with showers expected today, and for weather conditions on the outside, here's Chief Meteorologist Basil Dean. Good morning, Basil.
Good morning, LaDawn. In the tropics, a lot quieter this morning, but we still have the remnants of Isaac, which is dumping some heavy showers and thunderstorms over the eastern tip of Jamaica and also over the western tip of Haiti there, and also picking up some heavy showers over the eastern portion of Cuba. And some of that will spread into the southeast Bahamas during the course of the day. And outside of our studios, it is partly cloudy, 79 degrees is the current temperature. The winds are east-southeast at 6 miles per hour. Barometric pressure, 1,014.0 millibars. That's 29.94 inches, and it is steady. Temperatures around the islands this morning, 80 degrees in Green Turkey, also Marshall, Babaca reporting 80, 80 in Freeport, Grand Bahama, the Berry Islands, 82, 82 also in Bimini, picking up 82 in Harbour Island, Roxanne, Eleuthera, 81, 81 degrees in Artisan, Cat Island, Sandy Key at 80, 80 also in Kemps Bay, St. Andrews, Fresh Creek in Central Andrews at 82 degrees. San Salvador and Arum Key, 81, 80 degrees in Crooked Island, Clarencetown, Long Island, Ragged Island, Acklands, 81, Betsy Bay, McWarner, 81, Machitani, Nagua, 80 degrees, and the Turks and Caicos Islands at 82 degrees. Your boating forecast for today for all areas, east to southeast winds, 10 to 15 knots, and wave heights, they're going to be around 2 to 4 feet. Low tide, 8:27 this morning. High tide will take place at 2:54 this afternoon. And that's going to do it for your first look at weather. Stay tuned. Your forecast for today and tonight is still ahead.
Thanks a lot, Basil. And still to come, we'll tell you about efforts to enhance a local park in the Carmichael Road community. That story and more when the morning edition comes right back.
Good morning once again. Shawnee Miller Uibu will continue with a visit to the office of the Prime Minister this morning. Yesterday, she was given the royal treatment as she paid a visit to the Ministry of Youth, Sports and Culture, greeted by staff from both Ministry of Education and Sports, John Canoe, and a special rendition by Julian Believe. Also, the celebrity artist Jamal Rule doing his best. You'll see that coming up in a few seconds or so as Julian Believe, he went down on one knee, also with a bouquet of flowers in his hand. All this courtesy of sponsors. And then that's the picture drawn by Jamal. Very good. She was very caught with that. And Courtyard married with a special gift, lifetime stay whenever she is in the 242.
The flag with me everywhere I go. It represents an entire nation, and so yeah, it's a great feeling, and just to come home and celebrate with you guys, it's even better. So everything I do, I represent my country well, and hope to take you guys higher and higher. But I really do appreciate it, and I really do feel the love. Everyone who knows me knows that track and field has been a part of my life since I was a very young girl. I started track and field when I was 6 years old, and just to make it this far in my life, it's been a blessing, and I just give God all the thanks and praise for how far I've come in my career. And I just want to continue to inspire the younger kids coming up as well, that they can follow their dreams and be whoever they want to be.
Minister of Youth, Sports and Culture, the Honorable Anisha Rule, with words of encouragement for the track queen.
To set new goals and records for your Bahamian counterparts to benchmark against. Continue to be that example for your siblings, your family, and the athletes that look up to you and will come after you. Continue to make your family proud. Continue to serve your country with pride, and most of all, continue to be you.
Most of our elite athletes have been taking advantage of it for the last few years. It can also work for the average Joe. Looking for that muscle relaxer or a way to get away those aches and pains? Here's something you just might want to try out. Henry Butler is a trained magnetic therapist. Hab Enterprise is his business. Thab therapy combines the principles of acupuncture, reflexology, and massage, and has been practiced in the Bahamas for the last 10 years.
We work mainly through the feet. There's a belief that there are nerve endings in the feet. There's approximately 7,200 nerve endings in the feet and approximately 2,000 nerve endings in the hand. What happens with those nerve endings? They get blocked. They become blocked from wear and tear, from standing, from athletic activity, from sitting on jobs long hours, from just aging, and a lot of the toxins it's kind of cement in the feet. So what we do is we send electrical pulses to unblock those nerve endings. So it facilitates the blood flow of the body and it enhances the relaxation of the organs. So it brings your body into a state of balance and relaxation.
His clients range from 5 to 104 years old. The process is simple, just as long as you're not wearing a pacemaker or pregnant.
And what we do is we submerge your feet ankle deep in water. And what we do is we use our coarse salt from Inagua. We place the coarse salt in the water. We put the leads in the water, which are magnets, and we send electrical pulses. Initially, the person feels the pulse, and of course, your body responds to it, and it starts to open and relax and improve blood flow throughout the entire body.
And it works in all kinds of ways, especially for athletes.
When you relax those nerve endings, your blood pressure stabilizes, your sugar levels improve, you sleep better, more energy, your clarity of mind comes back. And that's what's missing from persons in any work environment. Sometimes they don't have the energy, and that's why it's just been so. My treatment results has been selling this particular modality.
Stephanie McKenzie has been trying the process for the last 6 years after being involved in a car accident.
And so I was recommended here, and I have never stopped coming. And I think this is a gift and a blessing from God, because I really enjoy coming to TAP. I was really very painful this weekend, so I came this morning to get my treatment done. And I would recommend this to any and everyone, because I bring my kids, my daughter, my son, my mother, my grandmother.
Softball players Taylor Johnson and Darren Stevens, too, making good use.
It's working tremendous for me. The blood flowing. I can't say no more words.
It helps with good recovery. It helps you to relax. It helps you to sleep. I've been coming here for the last about 7 years from Henry inception. I mean, words can't explain the type of job it does for your body.
And on that note, New Providence Softball Association Championship Series will continue this evening at the Blue Hills Field. Sunshine on the Wildcats up 1-0 on the Johnson Lady Truckers, following a 9-6 Game 1 win. And on the men's side, CNS Hitman looking to go 2-up on the Commander Security Truckers. Hitman skipper, who we just saw there, Darren Stevens, says the job is simple.
All we come to do is come to play head-brand softball. We can control what we can control. We ain't going to be an easy task to beat us, so they got to come out ready. If they don't come out ready, they get beat.
7 o'clock is the first pitch, and that's going to do it for sports. I'm Charles Fisher. Thanks for watching.
In our final look at weather, the tropics relatively quiet, but we have the remnants of Florence still dumping heavy rains over the mid-Atlantic states. And then we have the remnants of Isaac. That too is dumping some heavy rains over eastern Jamaica, also the western tip of Haiti and the eastern tip of Cuba. Some of those showers will be spreading into the southeast Bahamas as well. Our forecast for today for most of the northwest Bahamas, partly sunny and hot with brief pop-up showers. 88 degrees for your high temperature, your heat index around 103 degrees. And tonight we're looking at partly cloudy and warm with a few showers remaining in the forecast. Low temperature, 75 degrees. The extended weather forecast over the next 7 days. A few showers into Wednesday, drying out a bit on Thursday. And it looks as though over the weekend we're going to have a bit of showers back into our forecast. LaDawn?
Thanks again, Basil. And that does it for the morning edition. Thank you so much for waking up with us once again. I'm LaDawn Davis. See you right back here tomorrow morning.